Back like we never left. What is good, everybody? If you are new to the channel, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Weav, and here on my channel, we coach you through 3 crucial areas of your life. First, on your personal growth and development. Second, we push you forward to your own professional success as you continue to grow in your careers in business and entrepreneurship. Third, we always help you to build, maintain, and nurture long, lasting, and more meaningful relationships. Today's video was an email request for me to tackle the topic of relationship communication and how important it is in order for your relationship to thrive. If you don't know much about me, I don't like to waste time and I'm ready to get into it, so let's do that right now. Stephen Covey, who is the author of the popular book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he once wrote in a book that most people don't listen with the intent to understand, that they actually listen with the intent of responding. And my, how true that is, especially in our relationships. And you know something? We are all guilty of being that way at some point in our relationship. But part of the reason I share that quote is because I want to take a deep dive into what an effective communicator is in a relationship. Because conflict is bound to happen in your relationship at some point, right? Like, it's pretty inevitable that months or years into that relationship, there will be something you or your partner disagree on. The question you need to ask yourself is, when that actually happens, are you going to be fully invested in communicating your unfiltered feelings to your partner, while also taking into account your partner's viewpoint as well? Because most relationships that are long-term have seen their fair share of bad days. And it doesn't always come from your partner directly. Sometimes it's because one of you lost a job. It's issues you have going on with your kids. It's trust and infidelity problems. It's extending family issues. Or could just be that life is just throwing you both for a loop right now. Whatever the actual reason, relationships that flourish have an effective level of communication that no matter how angry, how upset or frustrated each partner is, they find a way to effectively express themselves towards their partner. And there are always things you both have to make a decision on as far as what is a priority when it comes to changing the dynamic of your communication. But it has to become by level of importance. So when we talk about cheating and lying, those take precedence over you arguing, complaining about how they snore at night. And here's a tidbit of advice for you. My mother used to tell me something all the time when I was a little kid that I really didn't understand. She used to say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that is 1000% important in your relationship. The how is always as important as the what in your relationship communication. Telling your spouse or your lover that you're upset about the amount of time you two aren't spending together is very important, but also is the how. How are you going to communicate that issue with them? Because coming at them with a high level of anger more than likely will cause your partner to shut down your premise. And not only that, it will put them on the defensive and make them even more frustrated and cause for a not so effective type of conversation. The second important thing to understand about communication is there is a level of empathy and compassion you each need to possess in order to sort out through your communication issues. One person shouldn't be indifferent to the other person's feelings. The genuine and caring nature of wanting to, as Stephen Covey said, listen with the intent to understand is a skill. It is also something that requires the other person to actually care. Care enough to take it seriously. Care enough to sometimes agree to disagree, but understand how your partner feels in the process. And a lot of times I see a lot of one-sided relationships where one partner has a dominant personality and the other person doesn't have the opportunity or sometimes the confidence to express their true feelings and communicate in a manner that is healthy for their relationship. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to change who you are if you're a little bit more of a passive kind of personality, but there comes a point in each relationship where your voice needs to be heard and you need to speak up and communicate exactly what you mean and how you feel about the situation. The third important part of communication in relationships is to ensure that you are being direct and concise about the issue and the feelings that you have about it. A relationship is not a great place to beat around the bush or to talk around or to sort of kind of say how you feel. The partner you fell in love with, they should accept all of who you are, all of your personality, all of your flaws and imperfections. There is no in between when it comes to love. There is no sometimes kind of of love. There is no, I don't feel like working on this kind of love. This is a partnership, and a partnership is where you share the most uncomfortable and vulnerable parts of you. Know why? Because you trust and love each other enough not to judge one another. And you respect each other enough to not necessarily always agree, but to understand and empathize with the other person, any particular issue they may be experiencing. The fourth part of effective relationship communication is having patience. I know it's easy for you to understand how you feel, but sometimes that isn't always clear to your partner. And guess what? Maybe you aren't the best at actually explaining it to them in the first place, but you have to try and find meaningful ways to get your viewpoints across. Because sometimes people actually do want to fix their actions and behaviors in a relationship, but they might not necessarily have a clear direction as to what they're doing, either because you didn't explain it to them clearly, or you didn't take the time to empathize with their situation as well. So it's more than being clear and concise, right? It's also understanding that it may take them time if they don't understand fully. Hell, it might take more than just one day of conversations for it to actually make sense to them. So be patient and don't allow your frustration to boil over to anger and make that situation even worse, especially if it is something that is small in the grand scheme of your ultimate relationship. And the work that you two put in has to be equal in that relationship. It should be split down the middle. It should be committed on both sides. This is how you will win. But do me a favor. Make sure you have buy-in from your partner and both of you communicating and loving each other better. Because two things that will always destroy any relationship are unrealistic expectations and poor communication. As always, thank you to every single one of you for tuning in and checking out this video today. If no one has told you this already today, I appreciate it. If you found value in the video, make sure that you like and comment. Share the video as well. If you're new to the channel, I want you, yes, you, to become official to the squad by hitting that subscribe button and that bell notification down bottom and become an official part of the team. I'ma head out now, but I'll be back soon with another new video. In the meantime, have an amazing day. Stay strong and stay inspired. And as always, until I see you guys next time, peace.